Welcome back to EU5, episode number 13. So we've done it. We've expanded. We're no longer playing tall. We are growing. Whew. Okay. Huge relief. But now what? Begs the question, what do we do now? First thing. For what we've taken, we need to get it incorporated. We need to get the full integration and the slow conversion to make it like us so that they want to be here. If we look a little bit closer at our new territory, control 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. Control 2. We have a 2% control here. That will change. That will change in time. For one, the proximity to capital part is not good. Okay, we are going to have to work on ways of making this feel closer to get control higher for this region to even mean literally anything to us. Same time, this region is not part of the Sevilla market. It's the FAS market, which is, you can see the markets are dynamic in EU5. So we are now part of the FAS market. Had we been able to secure the territory down here, it too would have been part of that same market, which could have been beneficial to us. But for now, we are now playing in two markets, and we're going to have to be careful about how that one works. Right now, we're not earning any trade in this market. We're going to have to do something about that. We're going to have to get some trade capacity going here. And actually, it looks like we have a lot of trade available. So market automation is at 0. I think it's obvious. There's lots of trade. Okay, trade's happening. Trade's occurring. But what is our control? Nothing. So we're not getting a percentage of it. It's not coming back to us. But besides getting that region under control in more ways than one, right? Getting them out of a rebellious state, getting them cooperative, getting them adopted into the Portuguese culture, dynamism, our religion, etc. Outside of that element, we're also going to need to start building up that region and etc., etc. So there's one element of the direction we are headed. The other, New World. Right, we are trying to get this area explored. We know that we are the first ones there. We already got the event pop up that proved we were the first one to discover the New World more than a decade early, so ahead of time. We have 15 months till exploration of that region concludes, and then we will instantly begin colonization at that stage, as soon as that opens. So in the short term, the other trick is going to be looking after our finances, which the war just ended a moment ago, and we just disbanded our levies, letting them return home. They're not there yet. Our finances look terrible at this exact moment. I also have a spy network on Morocco. We'll see what we can do with that here. I'll let it get above 50 and see if there's anything useful. Otherwise, we'll cancel it with the war now behind us. But it's so nice to be able to actually utilize Castile now to our benefit to help us in the time of war. But they really didn't give us much help in this war at all. They chose to be a non-combative force most of the time. We do have the risk of rebels coming in Sunni zealots. That, of course, is within here, and we do have our army staying behind to protect this region. I also do have a number of things that we do not need to be paying for at the extent that we are right now, such as fort maintenance. Expensive. There you go. That already takes care of the cost that we have at this exact moment. And like I said, once we get people back, we should be okay. And like burghers are happy. Let's charge them a little bit more. The commoners just a little bit more. The nobility we okay on, yeah, we're okay on nobility. There we go. That all helps. We are still paying down an inflation event. Diplomacy 0.03 Cape Verde. That's all that effort, all that expense so far is all that has netted us is 0.03 ducats a month. Oh, see, we're even buying food. That'll flip the other way. We'll be selling that soon enough. Oh, nice. Well, we open with a good event here, giving us prestige and legitimacy, which we have legitimacy. Can I do anything? Can I spend that before we trigger this? I do have the feudal nobility. I can't change it because I'm above max. I don't know how I'm above max, but happy for it. I'm learning more and more as time goes on, absorbing other content as it exists, both from devs and from those who had it months ahead of time, with the much larger channels than my own. But anyway, crown power, massively important. That's becoming very clear, and so using these reforms to push yourself towards especially taking power away from the nobility, which they're down to 32%. When we started this, they were over 50. But revoking these, you can see, are very costly. Very, very costly. But over time, we definitely want to shift power towards us. And one of these is not great, but can we afford to change it? Will it let me change it if I try? This noble estate satisfaction equilibrium at 5% is not a big deal. I think we can handle them being 5% less thrilled. Loyalty of subjects, yeah, well, okay. I mean, we do need to maintain that, but a +5 on that's also not a very big deal. Traditional economy is certainly not helping us. I'm wondering, I can absolutely afford 20 stability. Let's look at changing this one now and see if there's anything we can get, especially if it's going to favor more crown power or push us towards future events that'll set you up for success. Serfdom is one of those that kind of sets you up for success down the road as we shift societal values. There's some big bonuses when you get some of those where you want. This is certainly a good one, best one I've seen so far. Legislative efficiency, parliamentary base support. Don't know if I want to move towards plutocracy. I would have to see what the benefits are from that one. Colonial range obviously is good. For economic reasons, the mining communities would certainly be good. There's requirements. We have to be a traditionalist economy, at least 50% of the way there anyway. Here we go. Autocracy, crown power +10, monthly progress towards aristocracy. That's a big one right there. Straight up tax efficiency, the Privy Council is definitely a good one. And then there's these others that we can't choose, and this is because we don't have whatever requirements along the way. We are not 50% naval. I think we are more naval than land, but it's probably like 10 or 15. Research progress, institution growth, certainly nice, but again, unlocked. Here's the one. Universal serfdom. This is like the mega crown power, 33%. Peasants power -50. Monthly progress towards serfdom, but we have to be at least 50 towards serfdom. So pushing in the direction of serfdom can come with an insane increase in crown power down the road. So we like serfdom. We like serfdom very much. But crown power, autocracy, let's do it. Okay, that is a new government reform coming. And then we're going to take our legitimacy bonus. And we're going to lose 5% to the noble happiness. But long term, it's going to be well worth it as we move towards autocracy and increase that crown power, which will expand our control across the entire nation with a 10% bonus? Yeah, 10% more. R2 would be like 2.2. But elsewhere, it will have a bigger impact. right? All of these guys. This would be like a 76, 77. That would be like a 46. All of that just equals a lot more in finances. And of course, when we make the shift back down towards here, for one thing, proximity towards this region gets a little bit better when we move the capital to Lisboa. Okay, finances aren't amazing at the moment, but it looks like people are starting to return to their fields as we are seeing the kind of monthly ticking upward in the right direction. Some casualties during the war, especially, I would imagine, fishermen, those provinces, as we lost those 9 cogs. And look at Faz, 16. 16. Is that our share? Do we really have that much going on trade-wise there? I think that's a crown power situation overall, not necessarily. So we are getting, through trade, a good amount of money out of this region. It is benefiting us right now, as integration's already at 25% for our single province in the state of Malaga. Okay, we did hit the 50% on Morocco. Let me see what we can do with that. Casus Belli, of course, is there, but that's got a limited lifeline on it. It's like, what, 5 years, and then it expires? Much shorter than before. Isolate from allies, we have request anti-piracy agreement. That is a happiness thing. That's like trust. Yeah. Takes trust to make that happen. How is that a hostile action? So nothing in hostile. What about covert? Ah, there we go. Corrupt officials. Do not yet have infiltrate administration. We can sabotage reputation. So discontent. 75 ducats. Really? It would cost me monthly 75 ducats to sow discontent. There. Steel maps. I've kind of figured it was at 50. It used to be at 50 for... Was at 50 for EU4. Is at 50 for EU4. EU5 cost 40. Nice. Let's see what we have. They have some zones. What are these options? This is all like Far East kind of stuff? Yes, it is Far East kind of stuff. At least over here is. Baluchistan. Ooh. Hold on. Mali. That's probably a good one right there, as we are very much in the region, and I would love to get a foothold into the region. Northern Somalia. There, Sahara Oasis. This is kind of the one I was looking at first. Right, the inner North Africa. We gain 10 antagonism within that region for stealing this map. Interesting. Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. Alright, that's the one we're going to take. Big opening of the northern map region. Of course, there's a lot of uninhabitable space there. But I think we can continue to steal maps from them, given more time. Yeah, you can see all of this is impassable terrain. However, this is not. Oh, corridors only, not terrain. Interesting. Is this... No, that's a full-on province. It's just not inhabited. And that's not a corridor either. That's a corridor. Corridors are special locations that cannot be inhabited or owned by any country, but, contrary to wastelands, still can be traversed by armies. Okay. So, this is all regular provinces within here. There's a corridor. So, you can occupy all of this land, which I can't believe it took that one away from us. Shocked by that, but okay. Really good to know. Really good to know how that one works. We got kicked out. Still no idea how it kicked us out when we have 3 times their population. I think it was they gained 50% of the whole region. At least that's my kind of sneaking suspicion of how that one worked. Research, maritime presence, plus 10%. Definitely helpful. These guys are selected for providing maritime presence here as well in Faz, I think, and not just Portugal. Funny thing is, early game, Burger's power is good. Later game, Burger's power becomes a problem. We're trying to build them up. That's the business sector, right? So it's going to make a really big difference long term for us. Adding power to them, though, it's a trade-off. Market attraction, though, could be. We take away 10% satisfaction in short term from the nobility, give it to the burghers, but we're granting them a privilege that makes them a little bit more powerful, which it takes away a small amount of crown power. So there's a give and take, but it also makes them happier long term. And it makes us more money through the market attraction. There's this kind of a double trade-off here. But the more we hand out privileges, the more it takes away power from the crown. So no, we don't want to take power away from the crown. Oh, we have a share maps option. As France is forcing us to embargo Aragon. I have no idea how France is continually forcing us to do things. We're in the Catholic Church. Okay, so it's some sort of diplomatic power that they are using through the church, and they've forced us to embargo Aragon, Castile multiple times. Well, we are 2/3 of the way to our second million. I should say like 5/6 of the way there, but across the current million. As things start to settle down, the economy's back in a decent state here at 160 ducats right now and making at least a decent amount monthly. We are back into looking at the state of the economy and seeing that we are massively short iron right now. So let's address that one. We have the RGO here with iron, not too far away from our other capital. I don't know if I have iron. I do have iron up here. I guess short term and actually even long term it makes a certain amount of sense. It's a little bit further away from Porto, or from Lisboa, however, only slightly, and it's right along the sea, which gives it higher control anyway. And as at least currently we're in Porto, I think upgrading this one is going to do a little more for us long term. So there's 50 ducats there, and maybe I'll do the other. Just do them both. The other thing that's starting to pop up is those Sunni zealots, up to 6%. 6%. They have 232k across 9 locations, and we know where all 9 are. But there's our Lesser Antilles discovered. Lesser Antilles discovered, and we now have, ta-da! Oh, I'm in the RGO map. I'm like, what is all this color? Okay, so it's from here all the way up through here that's been discovered. And it looks like there's no existing nation. It's all colonial. It's all colonial land. So let's go back to that RGO and figure out what's going to. Well, we're going to need food. So there's fish. There's cotton, fiber crops. There's fruit. There's fish. What is this one? Cotton. So those couple cotton provinces are going to have more value. There's 3. The fruit's a base of 1. Fiber crops is 2. And again, there's your cotton. Cocoa. There's a very good one for selling. So I think we might want to start down here with fish and then get cocoa right after. Something to feed the population locally. And as I highlight this, you can see how it's highlighting all 4 of these guys at once. These guys. So it looks like this is kind of a one island group here. Create colonial charter. Yeah, 4 provinces. There is local pops, but the numbers are minimal. We're looking at just over 1,000 to just shy of 3K. Won't take us too long to make something of this. Hold on, there's more. But wait, there's more. Those are the largest ones. The others are all under 1,000. And actually, it's quite a few provinces, is it not? Okay, create a colonial charter. What are we missing? Oh, I just spent the gold. I just spent the freaking gold. We'll have it in just a couple of months here. This is our next task. Alright, now we have it. Maybe Extremadura this time? We've got the largest population. We can definitely spare some people. No, how about Minho? Right, take them out of Porto. There's plenty of people there, and it's only a temporary capital. Monthly maintenance. Cheap. Right, new colonial charter. And then as soon as we get to 100 ducats once again, we will begin our next exploration. We're at a plus 78 base on this one. And they have started population's 914, and we're already at 78, so that's not going to take us very long, as we have Aragon offering an alliance, which I will accept. We have a kind of a double negative, but the nobility can't be happy. We have support for dissidents abroad, and it's going to cost me enough gold to be forced into a loan, and it's going to make Granada unhappy, what's left of it anyway. The final state that they have. Bank of Peruzzi. Are they really banks, or is it city-states? Wow, Bohemia has some land here in northern Italy now. Well, things are going very quickly here in the Antilles. We're just a handful of months in, and we're already at 78% on the first location. There's a lot of locations, though. But even then, we're at 6.5% overall, and obviously we were the first ones into the area. So I think we're going to have total control of the lower Antilles before long. They are going to have plenty of food to feed themselves within their market. And then we will also have at least a couple profitable things coming out of there via trade. Another negative event, slash positive, we can pay to bring a new character in. In this case, we already took a loan and I don't want to take another. I need to get our exploration on the go once again. So we're going to take a negative here and push towards land away from naval, which is fine. I think I'm okay with doing that. So, finances are definitely starting to stabilize. Paying off this loan, sadly, with all the interest, is going to take a little bit. However, there is a crown power penalty as long as you have those active. So paying them off early does have benefit, even though you are paying off the entirety of the interest that there would be to pay it off early, but you're ending the crown power penalty that you have. Proximity cost through maritime. Okay. Oh, proximity. Proximity is the proximity to the capital. So maritime, you're starting to get more benefit along sea provinces, which helps control kind of along the way. Proximity is a big piece of that control measure. What do we have here? Starving provinces, Windward Islands. That's the new guys. First province done. Let's go ahead and go to our colony and see which one is it. Ah, there it is. Alright, so gains again are happening very quickly here, but of course we're going to need, so the population, you can see how we hit, actually we didn't even hit 50%. I'm not sure how we didn't, unless it's the population growth migration attraction that's hurting it. Either way though, there is fish. Yeah, and the first 25 people are employed. It's going to take them a little bit to start producing enough food. It's going to take a little bit of trade to kind of get them, but it's going to be multiple fish provinces. So interesting that this lower Antilles also includes the islands here above, Colombia or Venezuela. We're losing a cabinet member here. Another thing I learned about your cabinet is if you can make it within your family, you're actually increasing crown power. So if you can have a large family, of course we are not in that position because of this partnership that we have, this union that we have with Castile it's all Castilian ruled these days. So if we could ever get back to a full independence and insert a bunch of family members into the cabinet, we would have a lot of additional control, a lot of additional crown power, nepotism. So we could host army exercises, support a noble cabinet. Again, your trade-off of support Castile and or support ourselves at the same time. Though right now that might actually be the best option. Forced exploitation. Yeah, 2 forced lumber locations would actually increase by 1,000. That's probably a good one. That's an easy one. Won't cost me anything. Trade expedition. I will take the forest exploitation. Oh, not a great score right now. 33%. Loses 1 burger mansion. Local burgers' power. Local burgers' food consumption. Yeah, not necessarily a good thing. So that's... I'm okay with losing a burger mansion. Sure. 54%. We'll start from there. Oh, of course, we get the negative event that drops us below 50. We might have to take on another, but we've got time. Antagonism is fading away fairly quickly. Now it's just Grenada and Morocco. And we have a peace deal, so they won't. We've got only till the end of this year, though. Except for with Grenada. So Morocco wouldn't join when they're alone. What is this? Encomienda system? Which is what? Raw materials output plus 100%. Oh, and this is the Antilles. So raw materials output's going to be plus 100%, meaning the food, they're going to double production. This is going to help them get started. The second one's already at 40%. Ability gain, good. We're back up to 62%. Also, we are back into a good state of finances where we can afford to get our next project on the go. Let's go with short time frame. Eastern Caribbean Sea, just 8 months to complete. Let's do it. Again, close by is nice. However, you have to have the goods, and their market does not have the goods. So therefore, we need to come from Lisbon. So it's going to take longer, obviously, to do it from Lisbon than it is to do it from here. But yeah, wow, second negative event on that one. We're down to 44%. We are going to need to do something to help out. Losing 10% towards meritocracy, or losing a little research progress. Sad as that is, we're going to have no choice. That's what we have to do. Back up to 56% now, and the burgers are quite unhappy, but it passes. Okay, Malaga is integrated. It helps stop the pops from rebelling once you have integrated, and I think we can now turn our attention towards other ventures with them, as we have the empty cabinet slot. And we've got to convert the province, not the culture necessarily. I think what we need. Ooh, rebel crackdown, that could help us with the Sunni zealots. It's only at 13% though. So assimilating pops is definitely a good one. We have increased control, but I think it's not going to make much of a difference right now. Boost colonial charter. Send people to the colonies also. We want to convert. Yeah, we're down to 85%. And we start with Malaga with 21,000 people and 0.01%. Though we do have a 99.79 here. The Windward Islands can come later. Let's get our little 99 done real quick, and then we'll come back to Malaga. Scribes, religious influence boost. I'll take that. Clergy's already happy. Second province of the colony is already done. Build spy network for Morocco is already at 40 again, so we can steal more maps. And we're probably going to look into whatever this area is. Okay, Eastern Caribbean Sea, which should be this area right here, you would think, is now being explored. Stability hit here, but we move towards spiritualist, which we already are very much that way. So the Great Pestilence in that's not good. Right, we have immunities. New World does not. We're now killing natives. Sorry. We are losing some people as well. But we are killing the local pops. You can see we've started to occupy islands out here, which definitely come with the fish. 3 are done now, which is 25% of the overall. This one's definitely going to hurt, but I think we're going to have to kind of suck it up. For one, it's not going to spread back. It's very much a in the colonies thing. It's going to take a little bit longer to get through and colonize the area, but it's inevitable. The immunities take time. You have to build them up. You put infants and toddlers in a daycare, and they're going to get sick as they develop immunities to the things that surround them. It's just, it's part of life. It is a process. We're not doing harsh labor type things. It's just simple. Here are the sicknesses, the diseases that we have been encountering for centuries and have learned to deal with, and oh, you're being introduced to them to the first time. I apologize. As you die. In insane large numbers. So we are depopulating the new world. One cough at a time. Comet sighted. I was wondering how that one was going to work. It's still a stability hit. It's not as bad as before. -7. Anyone familiar with EU4 is going to know that the Comet event is like the dumbest one in the game. Yet reflects the era. People would see it as a sign and freak out, superstitious as they were. And yeah, so stability hit. Well, more research is completed. Advanced research. Monthly colonial migration, plus 50%. And suddenly we jump to 96. Which we are not growing quite as fast right now with the pestilence there. Possibility for another cardinal seat is there. We have money for it. Yes, we do. Let's go ahead and do it. And I think Coimbra is probably next on my list. Always got to be in a town. 40 ducats is all it costs. That's our fourth cardinal, giving us a fair bit of voting power within the church. I think last I checked, that would put us second on the list, as we are short books at the moment. Let's go ahead and help rectify that. Scriptorium. I think we are, yeah, that's the Faz market. There we go. Lisboa. Scriptorium. Sensorame has kind of cornered that market. Let's let them continue that and finish off their maximum. Our conversion at 99.99%. That's about to finish. And there it goes. Okay. Well, let's move them on to Malaga. We're at 85% overall for the nation. Windward Islands now at 53. And yeah, Malaga. Right now it looks like another tools guild would be the most profitable option for us, so let's go ahead and get one of those, and then we'll also look into some RGO expansions. We already know that salt is a good profit maker, so let's get one for salt, and then take a look at what are we kind of missing. Wheat. We are short on wheat, so we will address that. We're already at 2% on Malaga, so we're actually making some decent progress on that conversion. This will also limit the Sunni zealots and their growth as we take their pops away. They're at 19% now. We might have to do something to address that before we actually get to the conversion being a done thing. Colony did stall out there for a little bit, but it's gotten a lot better. A lot better. It's not as bad as it was. I think they already kind of killed off who they were going to kill off. Current deaths was 746. Most of those were going to have been native. Other 7 stability lost. We're down to 51 for the moment. Quite a few negative events there holding us back. Let's go ahead and check in now on our two nations. Yeah, control up to 4% now that it's been integrated. So you integrate these and they're probably going to be around 4% too. Not much. The big thing though is the trade. The trade value that it's been able to give us. We're now done with 4 islands of the windwards here. Oh, there's... Okay, we're going to start making cocoa. That's going to start making some profit for us. And yes, this is a separate market unto itself. And actually right now, we are not making any money off of trade. The minor tribe is, that's in the area. They've got 98,000. They are the ones that have been taking huge loss. Oh, huge losses. 500 of 98,000 is not huge losses. But it's a negative on food loop right now within the market. Invite settlers is available once again. Crown of Aragon. And can we choose Minho? Good. Offset what we're losing a bit. A dye maker in Porto. It's going to be our next little upgrade here. And I think I want to get back into those RGOs. I'm finding that that's where we're starting to make really good money. Copper. Let's go ahead and get that upgraded. Advanced research, trade range, plus 250. Good. Ore harvest. 109 ducats or 5. Take the 5 prestige. It's okay. Cardinal seat is stalled once again, and books, just not enough books, not enough lumber either, though we have a lot of construction happening right now. So we need books and we need lumber. Let's go ahead and help with the lumber one. Where are all my, there we go, lumber. Expand that. Brilliant diplomat. I like that. And just like that, we are back down to 47th in those rankings. I think that's an institution thing. A lot of people just got plus 10s for embracing an institution that we were a little bit ahead on, and now we are not ahead on, causing us to kind of slip behind others. We also lost some of that navy. Maybe it's time to replace a little bit of that. And actually, didn't we have a upgrade? Let's go into port. And then let's upgrade. There are definitely some. 136 sailors, 25 gold. 5 early Iberian caravels will become Iberian caravels. So upgrading those 5. And there we go. Eastern Caribbean Sea discovered. We will go to... And yes, we have expanded our view of the land. We can also immediately begin our next project with the coast of Guyana. Sure. Again, I don't think the market here is stable enough to provide what we need, so Lisbon it is. Those 59, he's been fantastic in this role for quite a few years. He's gonna die here eventually in the not so distant future, but when the time comes, you just replace him with whoever's next. Sunni Zealots are up to 25%, by the way. But our conversions in Malaga is already at 14. It's not too bad. Can we, let's see. There was a purchase thing. Where was it? Higher. 300 ducats now? What happened to 180 something? There shouldn't have been inflation on that. Yeah, I don't want to spend 300. I guess we'll sit with what we have. Integration's at 46% here, by the way, on Grenada, the state. And we begin the exploration for the coast of Guyana. Meanwhile, we are approaching 50% on our colony. Hey, 15 prestige. We got a positive. Haven't seen too many of those. Actually, we've seen plenty lately, I suppose. Looking at new industries. Oh, slave market. It's incredibly profitable. There is some sort of negative here. Cannot build. Okay, we can't build any right now, but we all obviously know just how terrible that one is, but also allows you to get stronger faster on all that. Library. What's a library going to do for me? Local cultural influence, pops promotion speed, literacy gains, local literacy, and institution growth. What is the monthly cost on this guy? Oh, and it's another need books kind of item. Obviously, a library needs books. Obviously. Royal Garden. Monthly prestige and monthly diplomats. That seems like a nice building to have. Let's build a royal garden. Of course, it's in Porto. Let's not build it in Porto. Let's wait until we have moved on, though our king is young. And it would be nice to get back under control. Okay, let's just go standard. Tools Guild. Tailor's Guild. A gunsmith. We don't want all of our eggs in one basket, so we'll put one in. Censor it. Yeah, anything involving military, spread it out. Others, apparently you get benefits from keeping them in one place. So Papermakers Guild, it's okay to have in one place. One last one with the Spinners Guild, Porto. Okay, that should really help us make some money to the point where we might actually want to continuously have two explorers employed. Research, maximum RGO size, plus 10%. Forever Lost. Great Pestilence is decimating one of the colonial regions here. 306 ducats to get stability. Clergy happy. Clergy at least will make that money, 300, and they'll reinvest it somehow. Or we lose a ton of happiness and stability. That is so much money, though. That's 20 months right now of funds. You add in interest on multiple loans, and we're talking about at least 2 years. Financial setback. 2 years. Goodbye, stability and happiness. France forcing us to embargo England. Okay, there's a new... No, it's not a new character. It's a building of some kind, which provides sailors. Shipbuilding capacity. Okay, sweet. Only 27 ducats. Alright, you can see our conversion efforts are starting to have a slight impact. It's down to a 0.31 instead of a 0.32. And Granada have joined the coalition against Portugal, which would only include Granada and Morocco, as they're the only two nations that were interested in it. No, they're the only one. They're down to being the only one, so there is no coalition. Parliament ready to meet once again. I have way too many things happening here. Porto. Gotta keep that centralization. Farming Estates has the best bonus. We don't really want to be conceding things right now, so I will very quickly, easily choose that one. That's near 50%. Autonomy, that's a little bit of loss of, but it's a move towards centralization, which I... Oh no, it's a move towards decentralization. We're only at 2.8. I don't want that. The prestige, I can handle that. That's okay. 10% gain. We're at 54. That'll have to be enough for now. We'll see if we can get a positive. Oh, hey, maybe. Maybe I got you upgraded, but now I need to put you back on task. Patrol the seas, Iberian West Coast. Yes. Ooh, nobody's happy. Now the burgers are happy once again. 58% and counting. Agrarian communities. I will take that stability and push towards agrarianisms. And I think we can almost start a second exploration simultaneously, but not quite. Parliamentary traditions. There's a positive event, plus 10%. That should pass. France is getting united. Maybe we need to start making friends with them. Could almost use them against Castile. We're going to lose 10 prestige, negative event. That would have stalled our parliament. But it passes. Wine farms, livestock farms get a +1 RGO. Pepper, books. I can't believe we have such a major books shortage. We keep building and building and building these scriptoriums, and we'll get 2 more levels in Lisbon. We've just grown to 6% control in Malaga, by the way. As for Granada, still at 0, but we're at 50%, 58% integrated. Surgery, advanced research, life expectancy, and disease resistance go up 5%. That's going to help in the New World, where we're now at 63%. Just a handful of provinces left to populate there. And pike and shot. Pike and shot's available to us. 33 stability. You know what? It's going to come with a bonus on research. I'm going to take it. I am going to take it right away. Pike and shot, ready to go. I'm still going to be doing the New World research, though, as our queue is actually nearly up, so we'll be moving on soon. As we're on the topic, let's go ahead and look. Oh, I was on the right one. There it is. Institutions. Okay, you can see it's just now getting into North Africa. It's very much not yet. Down here, that's like Castile and Papal States. Delhi has everything. Everything, but it's not around him. The printing press, 17%. Going a little bit faster. Printing press, 16.8%. It is starting to accelerate. It's not a 0.03 gain anymore. It's a 0.2 gain. And it's starting to gain in the other provinces that weren't getting it before, but, you know, it's still 2 provinces over. It's nothing. What about this side of the country? Still nothing on the printing press. That's still Delhi. So it's not the entire country, it's the state, unless this is not Delhi. Might not be. No, it looks like it. D-E-L-H-I. Yeah, it's still Delhi. But it's not in the entire country. It's just here. Near their capital. Obviously, getting it to the opposite side of the country will help to spread it. I mean, these guys are still working on Renaissance. Papal States, right? Papal States is your most likely to somehow get it on their own. They're at 0. Idea has not spawned at a second location. It's still very much just the one spawning location. Nothing independent. Tower of Bellum. 123 ducats and I'm down to 17. What just happened that dropped me to 17? Did I just spend everything? I did. I just embraced the institution and spent like 200 ducats. This tower is almost certainly something I'm going to want. What's it going to do? Hostile naval attrition and fort defense? Actually, I really don't care for that one. Not a big deal, actually. I mean, the fort defense bonus. Fort defense bonus in our primary. But it's a regular cost of 200 anyway. It's a regular cost. We would have to banish somebody who is a character who snuck in here the last little bit. I don't want to banish him, though. Ay. Spend the damn money. Loan. At least it was just a single loan. And at least it's only 8%, not 10. So, the Bank of Bardi. I was curious about this. Florence. City of Florence is not the Bank of Bardi. It's the Republic of Florence. So the Bank of Bardi is a country while a bank. Huh, okay. They have no location. Whoa. Castile making cannons. Crusader Knights. Reformed Crusader Knights. They are definitely ahead of us right now on that military tech. I think we are going to have to spend some time and invest a little bit more in that, not just research and expansion that way, as we just lost our captain. The captain that I told you who was going to die fairly soon. Apparently I doomed him. This was our really good character. Yeah, with the 100 Diplo. So we need to replace him. Ugh. Choices are not very good anymore. You kind of need both here. What? Final days, and this coastal region has been explored. Another negative event. Jeez. Religious influence, or we can lose lose the 5 prestige. Our finances are really bothering me right now. Let's go ahead and pay off this debt. There we go. Negative event gone. Look at that. Look, just big old gains. We went from what, 26 to 31 ducats. So the debt's paid off, but we need to get our explorer on the go here once again, as I'm loving that we have a good amount of control here. Doing fairly well. Past the 2/3 mark. Or at the 2/3 mark, I suppose. Settlers, okay. Available once again. Where do we want to put them? Probably our lowest pop. Or add to the Windward Islands. We'll go with lowest pop region. $31 ducats, one more month and we can pay for our next. It'll be the Western Caribbean Sea next. We are going to have to get some land soon, but we'll get the Columbia Caribbean areas fairly soon, it looks like. Very curious whether we now have enough resources to be able to start exploration, but the big thing is, what do they need? There's goods on the market, right? There are goods on the market. There's still no food stockpiled or anything, so no. Okay. Here's a good young captain coming in now. I mean, good. I say good. Tolerable levels. Put him in charge. As we go for the Western Caribbean. Hey, disorder, -12, stability down to 15. Ouchie, ouchie. Not only have we hit that 2/3 point on our colony, we've also hit that 2/3 point on integration of Granada, while Malaga's over 1/3 of the way now on Catholic. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's more going on here. Tunisia with the Ottomans. As Doctor, our last, we have nothing. Oh, we do have one. We have one, and I want him on the integration. Oh, it's Mr. this guy. What is your tolerance of monthly progress? Okay. One cabinet member. We have 1 ducat left. Can't believe we cannot get on top of this book's situation. Scriptorium after scriptorium after scriptorium, and we can't produce enough books. Hey, another. Hunt for a cause. Anger and fear of population have reached a point at which it can no longer be contained. It must be projected outward, or we can tank more stability for some legitimacy I can sacrifice. That we can get back to 100 pretty quick. But what is this one? Some laborers will disappear. Need to organize the hunt. 12 stability sounds awful right now. We're down to 17. Organize the hunt. Research done also at the same time. Construction speed plus 10%. And that is it for my research queue. Finally. Still Age of Discovery, still New World. There is so much good stuff in here. We will get to the military stuff soon enough. Caravel. Maritime Trade Advantage, definitely a good one. Maritime Presence Decay. Probably just queue up both of those. Those are good. Proximity Cost. Through port. I'm not 100% sure how that one works, but that's definitely. And then the War Galley. You know what? Let's get both of those. Let's finish that whole section. Factories, trade advantage, trade range used overseas. That's probably helpful. Silver and lead output, but we don't have any silver provinces. Iron output would definitely be a very good one right now. Let's go ahead and queue that up, I think. And copper we do have. So That'll get the iron one down the line. Exploration cost. Let's decrease that as well. I like that. Okay, we're back to Happy Estates. But we're up to 40% on these Sunni Zealots. And that Western Caribbean Sea. Search begins. Or exploration begins. One of these events are going to kind of finish up before the others. I need to probably reduce. And actually, I could probably use these guys to reduce, right? Suppress rebels. Italian stalemate. There's Italian wars that are coming to an end. We weren't even aware of them. 80% on our colony. Last 3 provinces. We're gonna have to. We're doing a lot of sea zone stuff right now. We're gonna have to do some land so that we can get our next colony on the go here in the next little bit. Skilled diplomat for 10 years. We lost our diplomat in Morocco, by the way. And we can embrace meritocracy. I'm going to let that one spread on its own. I'm not as much in a rush there. Especially right now. The way stability is down to a 20. That's also just a tier 1 anyway. We're short on fruit for a couple of our buildings within market, so we have our 2 fruit provinces. Pharaoh's one of them, isn't it? No, that's salt. It's the one next to it. We're gonna double. The rebel suppression doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment. And we're into the last 2 provinces here. 85% of the way done now. All the more reason to go ahead and start the next one. Colombia, there's 3 areas for Colombia, which are here, here, or here. This is really solid territory, at least for EU4, so that might be a good one. That might be a good one to get into. Again, the goods we need. Lisbon for now. Well, hello there, new captain. We have some new options. Yes. Exploration started. Maritime trade advantage 0.02. Research done. And for the first time in a while, we're going to double up on our exploration. Trade efficiency losses for 2 years is a short while, or make the burghers unhappy. How happy are the burghers? Happy enough. We'll just take the loss. 56%. We're down to 210k of them from 233. Numbers have definitely dwindled. The legitimacy is coming back up pretty quick with our bonus here. As there goes our naval commander. Actually, that's the first time in a while we've lost a naval commander. Quite impressed by that one. And a whole new generation of commanders have come to us. Really happy for that part. Almost to the 100 mark. We get 99 a month. New exploration begins. It's going to take 5 years to complete, though. 5 prestige, and we get a new Vasco da Gama. Ooh, hello. Our strength of government one. Also, let's get... Excellent. We have cabinet members. Just had to be patient. There's the invite settlers again. And we want, this time, let's go ahead and send them to the New World. Windward Islands, 15k and counting. Give it a little boost before we finish. Friendly dog. The mutters matter. 16 ducats. Oh, and our captain gets a pet. Which I'm sure there's something. Exploration monthly progress. Yeah. Good. There we go. Colony of Windward Islands is ours. Form a colonial subject. One of the locations becomes a town. Tempted to keep it as part of Portugal, so we have something over there to grow, expand, control, and oversee all the other colonial subjects in the area. But this might not be the location for that, as it's just the islands, minor islands. So we'll make a colonial subject, and that makes 2. 63 ducats for wall art. 5% satisfaction for a lot of people and additional skill, or lose 5 prestige. This is going to put me slightly negative, but I can maybe manipulate this to not see it hit a negative. There we go. Just take the army maintenance down for a month. Oh, why are you... Oh, it did not give me the balance I needed, and we ended up going ever so slightly. It was less than a ducat. Less than a ducat, but it did not keep the pace expected. That was a frustrating additional loss of 40 ducats and the crown power for a handful of months here, which really adds up to more, at least 50 ducats. And there we go. Now we can repay it. That crown power back up, but yeah, that was unfortunate. Well, we've climbed back inside the top 40 at 39. We do have a parliament ready to gather, but a little nervous about where we're at financially for various things that could come up with that. We have just 3 months left on this one, so I'm going to stall a little bit on the parliament. Sunni zealots, yeah, there's maritime presence decay, another research done. I think we're close enough. Let's go ahead and begin. Promote state religion, clergy equilibrium for a while, and missionary zeal. Pop conversion speed goes plus 25%. Very much one of our main things we want. And, well, hello, Malaga, where we're converting right now, 700 just like that would convert right away. Oh, I like that. And it's our highest percentage option right now anyway, so let's take it. It's going to take a little bit to get that support we need though, but here's a 20% option, stability, and we would move towards decentralization, which I do not want. Start constructing a new monastery, costing 16 ducats. See, there's why we wanted to wait. 10%. Gets us to 46, but it's still not quite where we need to be. Legitimacy? Okay. Okay, nobility is going to be a little unhappy, but that's at least above 50. Parliamentary traditions, and there's a 10% bonus. That should do it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Our 3rd army commander just perished. Well, hello, Vasco. Not Da Gama. Army morale. Monthly progress to quantity. Oh, right, quantity over quality. But exploration. Oh, he's a good explorer. We need to save him for explorations. Not put him in charge of the army. We could take somebody like this. Naval. Well, that's okay. Guess we'll take somebody more balanced. Wood Audley. We're not really using our army in combat hardly at all, so not as urgent. Integration, almost done. And the Western Caribbean is discovered, and here's a negative, lose 5% or trade off some legitimacy and prestige, which we'll have to do. So Western Caribbean, has been discovered. It's all the southern Caribbean, though. We do not have the Gulf or northern Caribbean. They very much have it split up quite a bit there. Okay, let's go ahead and make some money for a little bit before we go and start a new one, but we're at 3 years on this territory. And there's plenty of land to now explore. And we pass! So we just jumped a fair bit there, and we get the missionary zeal, so it's going to go even faster. We're at 60% now. Alright, we are ready to begin our next project, and what do we want it to be? I think we're going to do some more land exploration here. Probably right next to, so one side or the other. Dagama is so talented that it's only going to take 2 years to explore that region, where the other one's taking 5. Is that also the new tech, though? As I have, I think, increased rates a little bit over time here. We're up to 10, 11 ducats profit, even with 2 active explorations. Which means I think we can now maintain that permanently. Tools Guild, another one, again, moneymaker. Tailors Guild, we'll get one of those. And the cost is almost nothing on the meritocracy, but I'm just curious to let one get all the way. Will there be no cost? Is it just simply embraced once we get to a 100%? We have a gifted translator. Oh, nice. Exploration boost. And we'll take it. 22 ducats is not bad at all. And we just got some shipbuilding minor tech on the way towards other research techs completed. Oh, yeah, another. -5 prestige. We don't have 260 ducats. And there it is. Integrate province finished. Granada is now integrated. If we go to control 6%, 8%, it's not much. But now that this is integrated, it is going to start to increase. Granada in particular should. Yeah, monthly change. Maximum control is 14. Here, maximum control is 7.5. But now it's going to actually start ticking up. The others are still 0 as they are internal. But we're going to get at least a few provinces with gains, which means we are going to make some money directly off of this. But the bigger thing, right, is that we have this happening. We have the fast market where we are making a good amount of money on the market. So the goods that they are putting into the market is still making us money as a result. All in all, it is good. It is good that we have those provinces and have them under our control. Now that it's integrated, we now have to convert it as well, because this is still a problem. 58% of the way towards Sunni Zealots suddenly being a bit of a problem. But their pops are down to 89,000. 89,000 now. Not as bad. Not anywhere near as bad. Or at least that's the group that would rebel. So they're at 0.22. That's almost entirely Sunni, but that'll change. That'll change. It's going to take a lot longer, though, than Malaga, where it's a single province versus an entire state with quite a few provinces. I mean, there's 3, 6, 8 provinces there. It's definitely going to take more, but again, we are making good progress on making this part of Portugal. I mean, technically it is now. Overall, we're above 1.75 million now for our population, and of course we finished our second colonial nation now in the Lower Antilles. The Upper you know what? Those Upper Antilles are already revealed. Let's see. Can we make a colony? We could make a few colonies, but we don't want them all. We want the Leeward Islands. Didn't know we could have been doing that at the same time here. Okay, we just need some gold to get that one started, and then we will begin that process. But the Windward Islands are fully complete. We'll start the Leeward one soon, and then we are exploring these couple of regions to be able to start doing the northern tip of South America as well. So expansion is going well. We're about to adopt meritocracy. We're at 99.25% on that one. Things aren't ideal. We're still only 41st in the rankings, but from the extreme difficulties that we were encountering and being forced into playing tall for so long, we've escaped out of that, right? We are colonizing. We're leading the way in colonizing the New World. Real head start there, and that's why we're going to keep our focus there, where Africa was a real problem for us. The Papal States in particular really outdoing us. Castile were outdoing us. We're now outdoing them, so we've pulled ahead of Castile on that. And Papal States, the good news about Papal States is they are a relatively small nation, though they are very successful with what they're doing, but they also have a lot of friends, so you don't want to make an enemy of them. It's definitely an interesting set of players, as we, to this point, hadn't seen France or England or Holland getting involved yet in expansion to the New World. Aragon still exists, 1497. Castile has not adopted them. They don't have a partnership thing happening. It's us, right? Going back after Granada and getting the last, and we got a few years till the truce expires with them. Was it 95 or 1500? No, it's just antagonism. So Granada could be, like, we've got one more state. But the Sunni Zealots thing, I think we kind of want to stabilize the two that we have so that we can then focus on getting after that other one. I don't know how strong the rebellion would be. I think actually we would probably have a pretty easy time dealing with it if it did occur, especially as their numbers dwindle. We'll keep an eye on that. I'm still just curious about how all these mechanics are going to work and function, and you would imagine it's going to be largely peasants, but not entirely, right? You have a fairly good mixed base of population that are Sunni in the area. So if we were looking at, Granada and this population, there's 128,000 people here, and I would imagine that a good portion of them, 87% are Sunni, 11% are it says Shiism. I'm trying to remember what the adjective, Shiite. This is going to be all walks of life. Yes, 75% are peasants, but you got 10% laborers, you've got 6% burghers, slaves, clerics, 2%. There's no higher class. Okay, interesting on that part. Clerics are the highest class. There's no nobility here, so you wouldn't face any knights. So actually, yeah, they should be pretty easy to deal with. If there is, we don't know how many of them would rebel. It would not be 128,000. It would not be 112,000, right? When there's a fight, not everybody's up for a fight. So maybe there's 10,000. We have enough levies to be able to deal with that, along with our regulars. Our regulars themselves might be able to deal with 10,000 lower level, non-noble quality, no knights level levies. It would mostly be peasants, of which we could deal with much easier, especially if I expand this a little bit further and get it up to 3 or 4K. So I think we would be just fine with them being able to handle it if and when those rebels do emerge. It would be nice to know what what we would get from that. The integration alone cut it down to 89,000. I think that might be the mark we're dealing with. But again, I don't think it would be all of them rising at once. It would certainly suck to have to go kill 90,000 people and see their population drop drastically. But anyway, we're definitely making progress on the integration. We're definitely making progress on New World. Finances are getting much stronger. Stability's got to rebound from some big things happening here recently, but I'm really happy with where we're at the moment compared to where we were. I'm not happy with where we're at 160 years into a playthrough compared to normal, but this ended up being a much harder start than expected, and at least we're hanging in there and starting to get on the right side of it. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.